After I saved Tony Stark and I helped him create 2 new sets of Iron Man power armor, and I even upgraded Tony Stark, him turning into a cybernetic android with powers greater than Super Saiyan God Blue Goku. I now leveled up again, this time to Infinity Level 3, so I opened my player system screen again as usual and it said congratulations, you now have all the powers of the Doomslayer without all the negative side effects of his powers. And then I jumped high for joy and I noticed I could now double jump, and I now have a wrist-mounted computer gauntlet that activates my Predator suit, and I smirked when my gauntlet said Doom Eternal Predator suit, and then I activated my Doom Eternal Predator armor and it formed around my body like a living thing, but it was just nanites. And then I looked in the mirror and now I look just like the Doomslayer from Doom Eternal, and then I popped my blade and it says my blade is actually far stronger than Wolverine's claws or any other blade for that matter. And then I said all this is really going to come in handy when I start killing a lot of bad people, and who knows, I might even be able to kill demons in Mephisto's realm at least. And I also know I can kill Mephisto now easily with all my Doomslayer powers that I just received thanks to my Infinity Gamer system. And when I activated my armor in front of Carol Danvers, she asked me, Kenshiro, are you alright? And then I said, yes honey, I'm fine. And then she said, oh thank God, I thought you had become a mindless monster or a killing machine. And then I said, well, I'm not a mindless killing machine, but I do kill bad people. And then I said I hate demons, and then I sensed all the evil in Marvel Cosmos, and I could sense every evil Marvel universe, and I scowled in anger, and when my anger and frustration grew, my powers grew, and then I began to levitate off the ground and my key energy began to explode and flood my body, and then suddenly I vanished and I went and killed Dormammu in his realm, and I absorbed all his powers and his realm became mine. And then I went and killed all the demons in Ta Lo, all the ones behind the black door. I killed all the demons behind the black door and I purified and absorbed all their powers. And then inside the cave where all the demons once resided in Ta Lo, I saw a large treasure chest containing all the powers of the Monkey King, and then I took all the powers for myself, knowing I was no longer an ordinary man, but I had now become a warrior that can't die, and I can fight forever, and I can even have sex forever. And since the Doomslayer is even more powerful than the Hulk, no one could beat me, not even the strongest version of the Hulk. I have the powers of a beyond omnipotent being. My powers scale infinitely beyond every universe and multiverse, and since I have an overwhelming hatred for all demons, I wanted to go to hell and kill them all, and that's exactly what I did. I went to the realm of Mephisto and I killed so many of his demons that he had to take notice, and then Mephisto showed up in front of me and I said, hello Mephisto, and then Mephisto asked me, what the fuck are you? I can see that you have more powers than the one above all, but how is that even possible, and you still have a human body? And then I said, because I choose to have a human body, but you're right, I have the powers to do anything because I am the Doomslayer and I hate demons and devils. And then I popped my blade and Mephisto said, wait a minute big guy, I don't want any trouble, can you and I please make a deal? And then I said, I don't make deals with devils and you don't have anything I want. And then Mephisto told me he has the Soul Cube, and I knew what that was when he told me, and then I saw it and it looks just like the one in Doom 3. And then I said, if you give me that Soul Cube I'll let you live, Mephisto. And then Mephisto handed me the Soul Cube and it activated in my hands, and I said, thank you Mephisto. And then I went back to Earth, and then Mephisto sighed in relief and he said, thank God, that guy is too powerful and I don't even know if I could beat him, and he killed 1 million of my demons. How the hell is that guy even still alive? And then I deactivated my Predator suit and the Soul Cube literally fused to my arm and it became a part of me, and then I realized I could activate the Soul Cube anytime I want just by saying Soul Cube activate, and when I activated it, it had many blades and a mind of its own just like in the video game Doom 3, and I smirked when I saw everything that the Soul Cube can do. It's the ultimate weapon against everything. It has the powers to cut through anything and everything. It's basically a divine machine that feeds on demonic souls and any soul, really like my Predator armor suit. And then I smiled big and I said, what a great weapon. And then I remembered that I now have the BFG and the super shotgun with the meat hook, and I said, I am also the Doomslayer now and I can feel it. I despise demons.